Hey, it's Paul. Welcome back to B&B Talk. I'm going to jump right into today's episode, but once again, I need you to hit that subscribe button. Now, the first thing we see is Ivy and Carter meeting, and they're reviewing the annulment papers of the marriage. Now, Ivy ends up signing the papers, and Carter promises to deliver them to Liam. Now, we then go to Steffy's office and see that Allie's continuing to go off on her because she assumed that Steffy had stolen Liam from Ivy. Now, Allie is obsessed with this, but Liam tries to calm down Allie, but it's not working. She rants that Liam had loved Ivy until Steffy returned to town, and obviously Steffy's the one that turned his head. Now, Allie then goes off on the resurrection of the lingerie line, and she says that it's just a ploy from Steffy to tease and eventually to lure Liam back to her. So she's not loving this. Now Steffi's just rolling her eyes. I mean, she's dismissing this girl, and she finally has enough of it, and she lays into Allie, and she's wondering if Allie would rather be, she asks her if she'd rather be massaging Maya's feet and making crab for Rick, than obviously being in a situation with Ridge running the company and, with Steffy being president. Now, Steffy goes on to remind Allie that if she hadn't come back, Maya and Rick would still be running the company and still be continuing to mistreat them and the rest of the employees. And Liam agrees, and he reminds Allie that his relationship with Steffy and Ivy is none of her business, and she's been told before. I mean, this is a child. Like, it's really getting annoying watching her go off. I don't like this storyline. I don't like the way it's going. She seems like she's a cross between Lizzie Borden and some child who needs a timeout. She honestly, it's a waste of time. I hate this storyline, to be honest with you. I hate even talking about it, but it just keeps going on, and she pours it on. And then eventually Carter comes in and interrupts this with the annulment paper, and at this point Allie goes off again and begs Liam not to sign the papers and not to leave Ivy. Allie just rants about Steffy. She says that she's just a slut like her mother, and then she gets into the accident. Steffy goes on and says this was a terrible accident, but she thought that she'd accepted it. In fact, she thought she'd forgiven Taylor, but she reminds her, Allie does, that that she just mouthed the words. It wasn't really forgiveness. She just said it because she was urged to by her father. Obviously Allie says that she's never going to accept this. She blames Taylor. She turns around and calls her a lush, and Allie says that the family tree has poisonous branches, and they are the poisonous branches. And then she looks up and she sees Darla, and she sees the image of Darla, and Darla encourages her to fight for the family because she's the only one who could. And then she advises her to get rid of Steffy, and then Allie nods along with this. So we see this taking this bizarre turn, and like I said, it's awful. I don't like it. And then Steffy sees that Allie's distracted, and Allie admits that she's been talking to her mother, and then Steffy looks worried. This is just the same type of thing, and we see all these evil looks and this foreboding music and these stares coming out of Allie. And then we go to the rooftop and we see Nicole and Zende, and she, admits to Zende that she is Maya's sister, but she also gets into the things that she did to her sister. I mean, I don't want to get into all of those things, but she's pretty honest with him about, what she did that was against her sister, and she made a mistake in trusting the wrong people, and she tells him that Wyatt was the person that she trusted and she shouldn't. So now that's out in the open, and she also gets into the fact that Bill Spencer had a lot to do with hurting her sister, and that he was one of these people. And then we see Caroline and Maya, and obviously they've forgiven each other, and they're holding hands. And then Rick comes in, and obviously he's happy to see that they've buried the hatchet, and they all have a warm moment, and and he's now saying that he's on board with working for Forrester International, and it looks like a big kumbaya moment, and they joke around with each other. So, and then we go to Ivy, and we see her talking to Wyatt, and she obviously lets him know that she wishes that Steffy had her own boyfriend, and Wyatt tells that he kissed Steffy on 2 occasions, and that they haven't dated, but that he's hoping that Steffy will be over Liam. I mean, fat chance, they all know that's not the case. Wyatt says if things work out, he could end up with Steffy, and Liam could end up with Ivy. Same thing, wishful thinking, and they both smile. And then at this point that they're talking about it, who's standing at the door. Liam's standing at the door, and he overhears it, and now he knows it with no uncertain terms that his brother still has designs on Steffy, even though he has a clear path to her. And that's all she wrote for this episode. I want to thank you all for checking it out. Don't forget to follow us on social media. It's Paul and it's B&B Talk. Have a good day.